Hi everyone, my name is Marcin and I'm a 21-year-old from Warsaw. And in this video, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about why I think Warsaw is a great city to study in and to live in for young people. And having been born in Warsaw, I think I'm a little bit biased, but I can definitely think that Warsaw is a very bustling and vibrant young city that has a great mix of the old and the new, and the Western and Eastern cultures brought together. Um, and it's largely undiscovered by people from both the West and the East. So I think this is why it's a great place to be able to study and live when you're young and you're trying to have an adventurous life and something interesting to do. And Warsaw is often called the New Berlin, but I think it's much more than that. If you know Berlin, you know how laid back it is, how there's lots of bohemian cafes and kind of artistic districts around, and it's a great city to explore in terms of culture, in terms of events. And Warsaw is very similar in the sense that it has all that in it, but I think it goes the extra mile and does new things and things that other cities haven't necessarily thought about. And I think it's great because of its authentic style and unique geographical location and history. Uh, I think it's great because basically it is a city that used to be one of missed opportunities. Under the partition of Poland a couple of centuries ago, it missed the opportunity to flourish like some of the other big cities, London and Paris. And then the two great wars came, and it suffered massive destruction after World War II, basically being turned into a sea of rubbles. Then it fell into communist hands, so it really didn't get the opportunity to thrive and grow like other cities. But in the past 20 years, I think it made a huge leap and was able to do something unprecedented. Basically, it was able to rebuild itself and then have its name known across the world because we have lots of tourists coming in, many of them young people, and people love the city because it kind of brings different things together. You can find buildings that are kind of original and from centuries ago, and then things that have been rebuilt after the wars. And then you have kind of those gray and sad looking communist buildings. But on the other hand, you have, glass skyscrapers and very modern architecture. So it's a mix and match type of city, which is very exciting to explore when you walk around and see all the different patterns, all the different influences from other cultures, things that are intrinsically Polish as well, popping up in different places. So it's a huge mix, but it's very exciting to see and try to discover. And then also there's culture, which is great in this city. In recent years, there are many private theaters that open up, like Imka and Polonia, and those places are great because they provide entertainment, but also I guess education for a demanding audience, very young, very open-minded. So the plays are well, some of them are written by Polish authors, but sometimes playwrights from abroad, and there's just this mix of culture, of different inspirations from around the world. So basically, if you show up, look at the different events that are happening. We have great festivals, music festivals, film festivals, theater festivals, culture festivals, and if you look at the events list, you'll see that there's so much going on, and you'll definitely find something for yourself. And your friends if you go in a group. There's so many things happening at the same time. You have to pick and choose, and there's gonna be something that's gonna spark your interest. There's also lots of great museums. For example, the newly opened Modern Art Museum in downtown Warsaw that has a changing exhibit. There's new pieces being brought every now and I think it tells you a lot about Poland today and what it is, instead of looking back, which is very exciting because you can see what's happening now. And if you want to have a look back and at what was happening in the past, you can go to the National Museum to see some of the older paintings that will tell you about our history and our heritage. So if you show up in Warsaw with no idea what kind of country Poland is and what our culture is like, you will definitely be able to get a quick fix right away by going to those museums. You can also go to, I would guess, more interactive things. For example, we have a great Chopin museum that is very interactive, or the Warsaw Prizing Museum, where you can touch things, where you get special cards that you can touch this magnetic pole, and then it's gonna read things out to you, information, or there's changing lights. It's very exciting. There's also something called the Copernicus Science Center, and when you go there, you can learn different facts about science and carry out your own experiments. And it's mainly aimed at kids, but I guess if you're an adult that has a young soul, you can also go and explore that, which is, I think, pretty great. Um, there's also the new Neon Museum, because neons were really big in Poland in the communist era, and you can see some of them being restored, or maybe some of them aren't functioning. We can see their design at the museum, and they're beautiful, and I think they tell you a lot about the past of the city and what it used to feel like, which is great. And also, when you go to Poland, you need to try our food, because I think one of the best ways to discover a new culture and a new place is by eating. And having traveled a lot myself, I can definitely vouch for that. I think it's great to be able to try the different dishes from other countries, because they tell you a lot about who the people who made them are. So if you go to Warsaw, you should definitely try pierogi, because they are a national dish. And there's so many different types of pierogi. You're bound to find something that you will like. We have pierogi with cheese, with meat, with vegetables. Some of them are sweet, so we have fruit in them. There's fishy ones as well as. So, I mean, there's so many different options. And you definitely have to go and try, and they're great. Other than that, I would also recommend milk bars, which are this kind of communist style restaurant. And there's different ones, but the best one I think in Warsaw is called Bar Prasowy, and they offer lots of different soups, kind of main courses, desserts. It's very cheap, it's very minimalistic, but it's very tasty and traditional, 100%. So we should go and try that as well. If you are more into kind of fancy dining, you can definitely check out Plac Zbawiciela, which is this square in the center of Warsaw that has a lot of, I would say, hipster restaurants. And the most famous one is Charlotte. It's a French style restaurant with quick snacks, but also wine and kind of bigger dishes. And it's a very trendy place to go. It's a very tasty place to go. It's not insanely expensive, and I think it's very exciting and very kind of modern Warsaw-like. So go and check that out. Right next to it, there's something called Plan B. That's something that you should explore maybe in the evening. It's a pub type place where they play modern music. Sometimes you have live gigs from bands. Um, it's a great place to, grab a beer with some friends and just hang out. And also something that's very, I would say, 21st century Warsaw is hanging out at the beach, because we have a beautiful river right in the middle of Warsaw, and it's actually the last kind of wild beach in a major city in Europe, and a wild river, I would say, because the banks are often unregulated by kind of streets. There's just lots of trees, and there are beaches where people just grab a blanket, go out, sunbathe, or there's different events happening at the beaches as well. So there's like dance lessons, and people do barbecues. So I think that's a very exciting thing to do. And the most famous beach like that is in front of the National Stadium. It's called Poniatówka, and they actually have a couple of bars there as well. So it's great to just go there in the evening, for example, and relax and see the city, lit up with different lights, and it's loud. It's crowded, but it's fun. It's a very bustling and energetic place for young people to go. And I can't really speak of other cities, because I'm not fully aware of what's going on there. But in Warsaw, for example, if you are an Erasmus student, you will be met by your pen pal, someone that will write to you before you get here, and they can help you find a flat. They can help you sort out your life once you're in Warsaw, and they will pick you up at the airport, and they will be able to point you in the right direction. They'll become your friend, and they will introduce you to the university, to the city. So you'll never be kind of left out on your own, which I think is great. And then I know they also have lots of really cool events lined up. They do, karaoke's, they do cooking lessons, they will take you to different museums and art galleries and theaters, they do outings, they do just pub crawls. I mean, lots of different things happening. So you're never going to be bored. And then I think the main thing about Warsaw is just the spirit that its people have, it's insane. It's amazing because people are very energetic here. There's always something happening, and you should definitely come and check it out on your own. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of who we are, what we're like, and I really do think that Warsaw is a city that people don't know about. Even if they know where it is, they don't necessarily know, what to make of it. And every year I have friends coming from all sorts of places. I've had guests from America, Japan, Italy, the UK, France as well, and they all had different kind of things that were their favorites and different observations, and but they all just agreed that Warsaw, but also other cities like Krakow or Gdańsk, are just unlike what things that they've seen before. Because I think Europe can get a little bit repetitive. Um, But Poland is different because it's sitting in the heart of Europe between the West and the East, and you can see the two kind of cultures, clashing and merging in the middle. So I think Poland is a very colorful country, very eventful country, and something that you don't know about, even if you think you do. It's just different. And if you show up, you'll get a very unique experience, something that you will be able to talk to your friends about, and I think it'll make you stand out a little bit as well because it's not going to be the typical Paris trip or London trip or Berlin or what have you. It's different and it's exciting. So I hope that gives you an idea and that you like what you hear, and see you in Warsaw.